Hey guys, it's Calvin, also known as Rummer, and this is games you should probably play this month. This is going to be a compilation at the start of every month of games that I think that you should play that are going to be probably very good coming out this month. In some cases I might know nothing about them, and in some cases I might have only seen a trailer, but in other cases I might have played them before and they're going to be remastered for this month or being ported to a different console. If there are games that you think you should pick up that aren't in this video or aren't in any of the videos, let me know in the comment section below, because we're all gonna like different games. Let's do this.
Have you ever had a dream where you died?
No, I usually do the killing in my dreams.
On September 3rd, Catherine Full Body is coming out for the PlayStation 4. This is a game that originally came out on the PlayStation 3. It is unbelievably unique, and in this case, they're adding more stuff that was not in the original game that is going to be in the PS4 version as well. When I played this game, I was pretty shocked at how astounding everything was, from the amazing voice acting to the very kind of tight controls, even to the characters who at the start don't seem very appealing, but as the game goes on, they become more and more interesting. You play as a supposed cheater trying to navigate through block puzzles and trying to climb to the top of a very dangerous series of block puzzles. It's hard to describe, but if I had to compare it to something, I would take the choice-based system of Persona, as you are mostly in this game in a pub or a bar, answering questions or talking to people that have some sort of judgment on your character or something based on your character. But I would also mix that with the amazing puzzles that you would get maybe in Q*bert, or maybe actually a better example would be Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. So I would actually mix together Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker with Persona, and you might get the style at least. I'm not saying that's exactly what it's going to be like, but you might get the style at least of this game. It is very kind of naughty, it is very seedy in some cases, but I think that the style of the game never goes over the top with it. It always understands what it is. It's not there trying to shove it in your face. It is very tonally on point throughout the whole game, not just with its story, but with its colors, with its characters, with the music. Everything just works really perfectly, and I can't imagine the game getting worse as they add cool stuff to it, but then again, who knows. So yeah, I think you should play Catherine Full Body. On September 3rd, Spyro the Reignited Trilogy is coming out on the PC and the Switch. The Spyro Reignited Trilogy was something that I didn't get at first, but eventually I bought at a lower price point. Now, what I didn't know is that this game is one of the prettiest games I've ever played, and also it is a completely faithful remaster of the games that I used to play as a child. I'm very nostalgic for Spyro, to the point that in some cases I think I probably excuse it more than other games, but we all have those games that sometimes we do that with. The first game is still a little bit hard to get through, but the second game, the second Spyro game, if you were a fan of Banjo-Kazooie, if you're a fan of Mario 64, if you're a fan even of Mario Odyssey, if you're a fan of Crash Bandicoot's open world versions of his games, I think that you would love this game dearly. Some of the most amazing funny characters you'll see in this game, and just some of the best platforming. And of course you're flying, it's not all just platforming, but it's very inventive, very creative, and the worlds you visit to never get worse. They always get better, and they never stop being boring. It's a very colorful and pretty game, and honestly, I hope that if you have the time, you should probably pick this game up too. I think it's unbelievably fun, and I think Spyro 2 might be my favorite open world, might be my favorite platformer of all time now that I'm thinking of it. It's a really fantastic game. On September 20th, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening comes out on the Switch. I have the limited edition pre-order for this, so maybe I have some dog in this race. This looks amazing to me. I've refrained from looking at any other kind of information about this game because I kind of want to go into it kind of not expecting anything and then kind of being blown away, because I think that's actually what's going to happen. I played Link's Awakening for the first time this year, I believe, or maybe it might have been, it was definitely this year. It's hard to remember, I play so many Zelda games, and it blew me away. It went straight into my top 5 favorite Zelda games of all time, and one of my favorite 2D games of all time. It held up so amazingly well that, honestly, it's one of those things that you would have to, do something horrible to make it up, to mess it up. It's kind of like a bowl of cereal to me. It's like, bowls of cereal are amazing, but, it's really hard to fuck up a bowl of cereal, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to do something horrific to fuck this game up, I think, because to me, The art style is amazing in the original game, and yes, the character is amazing in the original game too, but the best thing about this game is the combat. It's so dangerous and fast and speedy, and everything matters when you're doing it, so I think that if they don't F that up and they make it just as fun as it used to be, I think that it would be really hard to mess it up. And I think in some cases, they're even adding to the combat as well, making it more fun, and making the menu system more snappy to go through as well, so I'm actually excited for that too. And I think you should definitely pick up Link's Awakening for the Switch.
Oh boy. What in heavens are you doing here? And after that awful storm, too. However did you survive? Oh, you're a jolly one. What's this?
Coming out on September 27th is Dragon Quest XI for the Nintendo Switch. This was my game of the year last year. I cannot say enough good things about this game. If you want a pure JRPG, a game that is very traditional, but also very fun, it is exactly what you were looking for. There is a dark evil in this game. There is a chosen one. There are characters in your party who all have different abilities that they use to their advantage, and I think a lot of people are going to look at this and go, oh, it's just a typical RPG, and in many ways you could describe it as that, but I like to see it more as a pure JRPG. Dragon Quest, for long enough, have not gotten the credit they deserve for being what they are. They are kind of like, in a lot of ways, the king of that whole kind of genre. They haven't strayed too far away from what makes JRPGs really fun. They haven't tried anything that's super inventive as their games have gone on, but I think in a lot of ways it's actually benefited them in a lot of ways. Because while other games have experimented in some ways that hasn't gone very well, Dragon Quest has done what it does well, and that's just make a JRPG. And I had so much fun going through this gorgeous world, and the idea now that on the Switch you get to go through it in 2D or in 3D, handheld, on the go, and also they added the orchestral music to it. They added even some extra features to side quests in this game as well. And I don't think, again, it's kind of like that bowl of cereal analogy as well. It's going to be really hard to mess this up for me. I think that because the turn-based combat is so good in this game, because traversal is so good in this game, because it's so easy to go around in the world, because the music is so easy to listen to in some cases. For me anyway, it was so easy to listen to. And the characters are so great, and they get a lot deeper as the game goes along. They're not just the kind of typecast JRPG characters that you're probably used to in some cases. Again, before people say like, Calvin, you're insulting JRPGs, I'm not. It's my favorite genre of video games alongside survival horror. I love JRPGs. They're not simple characters. People just perceive them as simple characters because they don't get to know them for long enough. Dragon Quest XI is truly an amazing game, and I think that it can only be better on the Switch. Even though you can get this game on PC, you can get this game on PS4, it's hard to argue that the Switch version won't be the definitive version, not just in name, but in actual spirit as well.
Whoa, what's all this, Anna? Curse lifted, is it? Tidy! I'm free!
On September 20th, Ni no Kuni the Rassled White Witch releases for both Switch, PC, and PS4. There are different versions on the PC and PS4, I think, than Nintendo Switch. But regardless of what version you're playing, this is a beautiful game that has so much heart and so much emotion injected into it. It is a Ghibli game through and through with a very Ghibli-esque story, Ghibli-esque animation that was actually done by Studio Ghibli. Now, one of the most amazing things to me about this game is that every single place that I visited honestly had me hooked, because it's not about how real it felt, but how it felt like I was walking through a Ghibli movie. It felt like I was there in any of the worlds that Miyazaki had created, and at that point I was so into it. It has a lot of gripes for some people. A lot of people feel like it's too long. Some people feel like the combat system is not good enough. For me, I enjoyed every single boss battle, every single world you visit, every single town, every single enemy you meet, every single friend that you make along the way. All of this is beautiful. And if you enjoy Ghibli movies, I can't imagine you not enjoying this. Again, like I said, it's like stepping into a JRPG that is a Ghibli movie. And there's not much else you could want from that at all. And I really think that if you haven't picked this up before, it is going to be a really good idea to pick this up, because when you're playing on the PS4 and or a PC and you have this amazingly updated version, or on the Switch where you're playing it handheld, where you know that you're going to get a completely different experience once again, and in some cases, for me, as a handheld lover, I'm probably going to pick up the Switch version myself as well. So that is the games that I think you should play this month. There are a lot of games that I really like that I've already played that are coming out this month in remasters. But I will say, if there are games that you like that I didn't mention, please mention down below and help some people out. Maybe they might want to pick up a game this month and they're not really sure what to decide on. And that's kind of like the crux of this video. It's just me describing what I really would like for you guys to try out this month. And for me, what I will probably try to try out this month as well. There's a lot of games coming out in September. The rest of the year is packed with video games. So I will see you in October for the next type of video like this.